Welcome back, everybody. I am Aesop Grimm, and this should be the wrap-up for my own preparation for my character for the Elden Ring DLC Shadow of the Erdtree that drops tomorrow. By the time you see this video, this will be released on Thursday. I'm recording it on Wednesday, but the DLC drops on Friday, and I'll be live streaming. So I'm down to the last 3. It's actually 4 things that I need to do. I need to buy boss gear, buy smithing stones, buy grave and ghost warts, and then I need to respec to the spec I'm going to be using. I'm actually going to make 2 saves using the create a save file method that I showed in my intro video, so that I have I'm planning on going with a quality build, and I have a backup faith strength build that is it's by Frowny Gaming. It's called the Tree Sentinel build, and I actually did a failed playthrough on that. That was my first attempt at playing the Elden Ring game. It was very good, very survivable. So I'm going to try and go with quality, but if I find it to be too tough to handle, then I think I can default back to that holy. And it also depends on how holy damage is received in the Land of Shadow. So we'll see about that. Okay, so what we have to do now, let's go ahead and lock this picture so you can see the game. We have a lot of money to spend, a lot. And I don't know if I have enough on hand. And that to me is kind of a crazy thing to say, considering I have 2 million runes. But I am in my rune farm spec. I did a modified version. Whenever I first made that rune farm spec, I was actually looking at just like a normal spec. But with this one, all I took the Erdtree bows just in case, because there is a thing that you can use where you can shoot a bird and he runs off a cliff, and so that's another way of making runes pretty quickly. I took the Sacred Relic Sword, of course, that's the central part, and put it at +9. And then I equipped the Great Jar's Arsenal so that I didn't have to put hardly any points into endurance. I went with the Shard of Alexander to buff that special skill on the Relic Sword, and then doubled up with the Godfrey icon, and then I have the Gold Scarab. So that's how I did it. But let's go ahead, and the first thing I want to show you is, if you go to your bell bearing shop too, as long as you got it, the Blackguard's bell bearing, I would recommend that you get like 99 of these. Buy 100. You can only carry 99. It's going to cost you 6,000 gold runes, and greatly boosts physical damage negation for a time, and that's going to help a lot in the Land of Shadow, I think. But if we back out of that and just go to the purchase, we're moving over here to smithing stones, and what I want to do is I want to have enough smithing stones on hand that I can level 3 weapons. I think that's a good number to shoot for. So if I understand correctly, you need 12 of each category to level a weapon up through the various ranks. So then I want 36, right? So I don't math well in public, so I'm going to break out my calculator here. I just use the calculator rather than struggle through it, but it says that I need to get 19. And there we go. Okay. Now we get to the really expensive ones. These are more money, right? I don't really know. I assume they are. I need 33 of these. And this will be 29. Oh, look. See, I'm out of money. 2 million runes. And I'm out of money. I gotta buy all this stuff. So let's go do one instance of rune farming so you can see what I'm doing, for those of you who didn't watch the previous video. I go here to the palace approach. Now there's a bird over there that if you hit it with an arrow, he will suicide himself off that cliff trying to get to you. And you'll get about, I think, 11,000 runes. So that's something you could do if you don't want to go this route. I think there are some other ways that are more lucrative. I like to go up to the prayer room in the Erdtree, for instance, and there's a little loop that I run there. But with this rune farm spec, all we do is this. And then we run back. Rinse and repeat. So we're at about 64,000 runes. Wide arc goes a long ways. And we're at about 87,000, looks like closer to 90,000. So it's about 30,000 runes a pop, and it takes you 5 seconds. Alright guys, and that took me like, I don't know, 2 minutes, and I'm at 434,000. Let's see how far this gets me. Oh shoot, I can only buy 17. Oh my gosh. Ridiculous. Alright, I'll put you on pause again. Okay, welcome back once again. That took me probably around 20 minutes, and I'm almost at 2 mil. 12, I think. Yep. Oh, that should have been a no duh. 24. Yeah, 12 times 3. Okay, anyway. I don't math well. We have established that. Alright, now I need to get those ghost glove warts, but I'm first going to go buy the boss equipment. And I do have the boss equipment to buy. Okay, so purchase all of this stuff. Alright, what that bring me down to? 1.3 mil, so I'm doing pretty good. Next, let's get the gear for my quality build. The Bloodhound's Fang. Now you can see I haven't leveled that up at all. That's why I want to use it. I know that most people have used this. It's probably one of the more boring picks, but it is no doubt one of the best picks also. And since I've never played with it, I'd like to experience that. So along with that, I'm going to take this pulley bow because it's got scaling and strength and dexterity. I'm going to grab the claw mark seal. I was really thinking to use this. I want to show you what it looks like, but I think I want to be exceptionally survivable if I can be in the new DLC, so this great shield I think is what I'm going to go with. This hood, and we're going to take the Knight's Cavalry chest piece, and for here I found that, almost surprisingly I'd say, the Fire Prelates, which gives you 10 poise out of a set of gloves at the cost of 8.2 pounds. They go really well with this set. And I'm going to pair that, the Bloodhound Knight Greaves. Let's equip this first just to show you what it looks like. I thought it looked pretty cool, but functionally, I think I'm going to need that great shield. Here's your first glance look at it. We'll take another look whenever I actually go to respec, and that's whenever I'll throw the great shield on. Well, maybe I should throw the great shield on right now because I'm about to level this stuff up. Okay, so that's what I look like. I felt like the Mausoleum chest piece also went well with this, particularly the cape, because it's got the Eclipse artwork on it, but ultimately I liked this combination. And one of the little details about it is that that hood is not a natural part of the chest piece armor, but look, they both have little blood spots on them. And so I know that's quite grim, but it pulls it together at where it looks like a set. And I think that the legs and gloves go pretty well together. They both have kind of a scaled look to them, you know? And then they dovetail pretty well into the black, and especially I think the shield kind of ties it all together with its sort of off black and little hints of silver. So I think it looks pretty nice. Okay, so we're gonna max level this Bloodhound. Okay, so The Bloodhound is done. That took Somber Smithing Stones. This one is also taking Somber Smithing Stones, and I don't think I'm going to max level this one because I hardly ever use it. Okay, so right there where it needs a Somber Ancient Dragon Smithing Stone, I'm going to say no to that. This one takes regular Smithing Stones. As a quality build, I don't think I need to put any more into this because I'm not going to be using incantations or anything, or not very many of them. I am going to use like Blood Flame and stuff like that, but I don't think I need to waste the Ancient Dragon Smithing Stone on the seal for a quality build. Eclipse Great Shield, also Smithing Stones, also going to be taken up to level 24, not level 25. There we go. Okay, so those are all leveled up completely. Before getting into Gloveworts, let's go ahead and do the respec so I don't have to slow walk everywhere. Store that, store that. While we are here, maybe the Erdtree's Favor +2. Yes, I want to take that, and I'm going to take the Dragon Crest Great Shield Talisman. So I have 2 defensive talismans, and I have 2 offensive talismans that help with the skill of the Bloodhound Fang. I want to grab St. Trina's because that's 3 pounds, and it's... Oh, this one's 5. Okay, let's factor in for 5. And again, this is really just to give me a calculation that provides a little bit of breathing room in case I find new equipment that is heavier than what I'm using. Let's look at the requirements here. Strength and Dex are going to be covered. 10 Faith is covered. 15 Faith, yeah, I'll bounce up to 15 Faith. I'm going to need to anyway for the blood flame. What is my equipment weight with all this stuff loaded up? Maybe go with blood bone arrows. And my equipment weight is at 70.3. Okay, so then I bring up my calculator. And I take 70.3 and divide that by 0.7. 100.42 is the number I need to reach in my respec. Alright, so the first thing I do is endurance because I need to keep that number in mind, and it's 100.42. So, scale up. So that would cover it. 47 endurance is needed. There are some talismans I could equip that would help a lot with that. And maybe I reload an old save and do that off screen. We'll see how the spec turns out. I'm going to want 60 vigor. I want 15 faith. I would like to have 25 mind. I think that's probably way more than I need, but let's see where it puts my strength and dexterity. And we can rob from mind if I need to. And I do. Okay. I think 15 mind is probably where I want to be. So I need 6 more levels. So what I'll probably end up doing personally, guys, this is just letting you know, that's what this guide is about, is for you to see somebody prepare and kind of how the thinking goes. Is I will probably reload an old save, go and rune farm all that stuff all over again, and know that I need to get 6 more levels in order to hit the numbers that I'm trying to hit. But for right now, we'll just click confirm.
Thou art now a sweeting, my thang.
Okay. And are we at medium load? We are in fact at medium load. So let's take a little closer look at the character just so you can see a little bit better what he looks like. I think it's not bad. It's not the best, but everything I think matches. It would be helpful if the bone up there for one reason or another was a little bit yellowed to match with those foot wraps. But that's a very mild thing, you know. For mixing and matching, I thought that this turned out pretty decently. But I gotta tell you, this shield here is just phenomenal, and you can get some really nice looking sets with it, in my opinion. But that black doesn't really match the black of the chest piece. So it's a gorgeous shield. I like it a lot. But I want the extra survivability, and this ends up actually going better, in my opinion. Let's do one run up here just to kind of test the build. I want to see what it looks like, how it feels. I might not reload an old save. I might just do this run over and over again with this build so I can get used to it until I can get 6 levels out of it. Okay, we're gonna drop right here. Oh, you know what? I didn't get that. Oh, I got Blood Flame. Okay. But I don't have Golden Vow, and I wanted to do that. Oh, come on. What? Alright. What about using the special ability? Oh yeah, those iframes really helped. Okay. What's my attack rating? 798. That's with Blood Flame active. You see, you can tell I'm not used to it. I've not used the Bloodhound's Fang very much at all. And I'm looking up there at how much mind points that took. Mana, you know, whatever they call it. I don't remember. But it looks like I won't be able really to spam Bloodhound's Fang. I want to save it for whenever I absolutely desperately need it or for boss fights. And that's why I would like to have 25 mind if I can work myself up to that. Let's see, go this way. Oh, you know what? It wasn't the Blood Step that did that, though. It was the Blood Flame. This does kill a lot slower than my previous build, but it's a lot more survivable, too. Stance broken. Darn it. Oh, little whip around action there. That was accidental. I turned away from him. But the nature of the sword, I mean, it's long, right? So the tip end of it actually swung all the way around behind him and clipped that guy. Okay. And if I go two-handed, I like how it looks when you just put the shield on your back. That's a cool looking dude, you know. He's blacked out, so it's a little bit boring and drab, I guess. But on the sinister scale, he looks pretty good. Just enough chrome there, silver plating to look realistic, but still rugged. Like it's not new shining armor, right? This dude looks like he just came off of a battlefield. Oh, that hit pretty hard. What's the attack rating now? 803. And if I... $848. Okay. I think with Golden Vow stacked on top of that, I'll be in the 900s. Okay. Let's get back to round table hold. And find out how many glove warts and stuff I can get. Okay, so grave and ghosts. So 16 minus 7 is it going to be 29? Oh, I have to use my calculator again. I'm sorry, guys. I don't trust myself on this calculation. 19. Yes, yeah, I almost said 29. Why would it be 29? 19. My goodness. Okay. So, this is going to be what, 28? Oh, I'm out of money. Yeah, oh, so close, but so far away. Oh, you know what, guys? I heard that if you use Storm Ash, there's a bird in here. It's not this one. Are there others? Yeah, there are. It's this guy right here. Stormhawk Dean. So I thought about going with that build. Maybe I will still whenever we actually get into the game. I don't know, but because you could do a quality build out of that. But I thought that was interesting. Do I not have the Dung Eater? Okay, well, I'll have to think about who I'm going to go with. Maybe this guy. Or maybe I just save my materials and run with some of the ashes I've got. Lutal the Headless or something like that. And save my mats for leveling up new guys. Bring up the image again. Buy boss gear, check. Buy smithing stones, check. Buy grave and ghost warts, check. As far as showing you, this is my alternative build that I'm using. Now, I got this from Frowny Gaming, and I think I told you earlier I was going to be using the Tree Sentinel build, which is from Frowny Gaming. But luckily enough for me, just like yesterday, less than a day ago, actually, technically, you know, going off the 24-hour scale, he posted a new video that is what he's going to be taking into Shadow of the Erdtree, and it's an extension of that Tree Sentinel build. It is a level 150 build, and it's an hour-long video where he tells you everything from the equipment to the stats to how to use it. I'm just going to give the quick synopsis here. Number one thing I want you to note is that I am level 189, not level 150. And so that allowed me to go heavier on equipment. The equipment that he chose, I actually used almost the exact same thing in one of my mock-ups for the Tree Sentinel build of what kind of gear I was going to want to wear. And it is lighter. So min-maxing, it's a better choice, the stuff that he uses. I am referencing his video, the Arbor Volt. But I chose a different style. I think it also, because I had the points to dump into the endurance to do it, it gives me more flexibility whenever I come across new equipment in the Lands of Shadow. So let's take a look at that equipment. It uses a heavy Great Stars. with Prayerful Strike on it. And as a backup, there's a second Heavy Great Star, so you can dual wield. Not a backup, but you can dual wield instead. And in fact, he recommends that you do that against bosses. And I put Sacred Order on it, just like he recommended. I have the Erdtree bow for my ranged attack. I am using the Frenzied Flame seal. One note here is that he actually gets a fairly substantial benefit from something called a Warming Stone in his consumable items. That works for him because he's aligned with the Lord of Chaos. I am not. I went and got the buffed in order to get the Frenzied Flame seal, but then I used Miquella's Needle to get rid of it. And so you can only use that Warming Stone the way that he uses it, which is a AoE heal in whatever location that you throw the stone into, if you are aligned with the Lord of Chaos. Otherwise, it'll build madness up in you if you're a humanoid. So there's a note. I have St. Trina's Torch here, and I've got the Icon Shield at a +9. He that's off his recommendation. He recommends not going to +10. It's a waste to go to +10. So a +9. These two are both at +25. My bow, I put it at a +9 because I don't intend to use that for anything other than pulling. And even on that occasion, it's very seldom. He recommended not leveling the Frenzied Flame Seal at all because the incantations we're using are just defensive, so there's nothing to scale with. Okay? I am using, if you're interested in the fashion, I'm using the Carrion Knight Helm with the Gelmir Knight Armor, the Gelmir Knight Gauntlets, and Blide's Greaves. I have, this is his recommendation too, also part of the build. The Dragon Crest Great Shield Talisman, the Crimson Amber Medallion +2, the Erdtree's Favor +2, and the Blessed Dew Talisman. And then there's my 99 Boiled Crab, and he says that freezing pots and sleep pots are really worth their weight in gold. You want to have those on you. The build utilizes them. He talks to you all about it in his hour-long exhaustive video on I don't want to say exhaustive as in like, good grief, this thing's long. I mean, it's very thorough. If you're interested in this build, go check it out. Okay, for the stats, I am using, you can't see it, but it's Morgoth's Rune for the 25% increase to hit points. That's by his recommendation. Over here on the left under attribute points, I have 60 Vigor, 40 Mind, 30 Endurance, 80 Strength, 13 Dexterity, 10 Intelligence, 25 Faith, and 10 Arcane. Now for him, he's at level 150. So he's got 60 Vigor. He's got like 23 Endurance. I think he's got 56 Strength and 35 Mind. And he tells you that Mind is the dump stat. So apparently for him, he didn't really feel like you needed anything more in Strength. I wanted Strength. These are heavy armaments that we're using. I did show you what I have on them, right? Prayerful Strike and Sacred Order. So Strength is going to directly impact damage, so I pumped it to 80. Bestial, well, I guess it's pronounced Bestial. Bestial Vitality, Flame Cleanse Me, Golden Vow, Blood Flame Blade, Flame Grant Me Strength, Heal. This is really primarily for Revenants. It kills them pretty fast. Magic Fortification, Flame Fortification, Lightning Fortification, and Lord's Divine Fortification. Actually, he says it's just called Divine Fortification. So, yeah, I'm not seeing it. I must not have picked this up. So I'll probably have to go find that on this character, actually. But anyway, those are the spells. And then in his video, he goes through a detailed guide on, like, what to use in what kind of situations and scenarios, and he does a really good job. And I really loved his Tree Sentinel build, and now I'm using this Arbor Volt video, which is the longest explanation video that he's ever done, but man, you know, it's well done. So that's what my guy looks like. I think he looks pretty outstanding. Let's run him through. I'll show you what it looks like, I guess, in practice real quick. Mimic tier is what's used with this build. So I suppose what I want to do is Golden Vow. Yeah. Okay, this one first. Then this one. Then this one. Back over to my shield, and let's just charge forward here. I got off to a bad start. No. Oh, that's why. Here, hold on. There, now I have all my functionality back. Okay. Try to conserve your health potions for boss fights. So the idea of this is to regenerate health passively between fights. It's a slow trickle passive regeneration, but it is there. And to regenerate it more actively during fights, as you get more health per hit. You regenerate a little bit of health every time you hit something. And you can see we're up pretty high already. Let's try the shield. There we go, that's what I'm talking about. I really love this build. I haven't played it at this kind of level yet, but I did play the Tree Sentinel build quite a bit, so when it comes to the weapon side of things, I'm familiar with it, and I really liked how it worked. I needed a lot of practice. It was the first build I really went through the game with, or a lot of the game, and I needed a lot of practice with using the buffs, and I still do. That's like the weak area of my game. But I'm much better now than what I used to be, so I think I could utilize this better than I did before. Yeah, he did the smart move there. What's up, son? Whoa, whoa. There we go. Okay, let's try putting that other Great Stars in hand. But that's it in a nutshell, guys. Okay, well, as a recap then, we bought smithing stones, enough for 3 weapons. Now, I used some on the Bloodhound Fang. and the shield and stuff like that. So I will probably have to replenish. But that's the idea that I was going to go with, and it's something I suggest to you guys as well, is to go in with enough mats to level up 3 different weapons. I bought Ghost Glove Warts. I need to do that. I need to fill those stocks myself off screen. But again, I would have enough to level up 3 different ashes. You're going to come across new spirit ashes in the Land of Shadow, and it would be nice to have a head start on the materials that you need. And I would buy that stuff right now, especially if you still have the rune spec in. And as far as the summon, I would pick out a good summon. Maybe check out a YouTube video guide on that. I know Mimic Tier is a real obvious choice. I think Tish is really good. I might even continue with Tish. I'm working with kind of a little bit of a death theme here anyway. And she deals... I forget what that debuff is called, but it's death-oriented. The Black Flame Monk can be good under the right conditions. Maybe look up a video on that. I don't remember the details on that one. Most of those Dragon Knight types that have the shield and the weapon are good. But I would take your build into consideration, whether you're ranged or melee, whether you're a magic thrower, you know, like a clothy, or whether you're heavily armored. And then determine, get a summon that pairs well with that, or that runs in a playstyle that you like. But I think that's going to wrap it up for this video, and we are looking forward, all of us as a community, to tomorrow and the release of Shadow of the Erdtree. Again, I'm Aesop Grimm. Thank you for coming by the channel. I hope you like what you saw. More importantly, I hope all is well in your neck of the woods. And I'll see you in the next episode, where this story continues.